Welcome to People with Purpose. I am your host, Sylvain Rochon. I'm a speaker, an author, a serial entrepreneur, and a business strategist. My purpose is to engineer a paradise on Earth using cutting-edge technology. I hope this show will give you excellent examples of individuals that chose to do great things in their personal and professional lives. Perhaps they will inspire you to follow in their footsteps. The show's format is very simple. I ask my guests 3 simple questions. What is your personal purpose? Why is it important to you? And how did you get started? Now let's hear from our guest. Hello, Wendy.
Hello, Sylvain. How are you?
I'm doing fine. To the audience that is watching, this is Wendy Mayhew. She's the founder of Wise Seniors in Business. And she is also the instigator of Wise 50 over 50 Awards, which occurred when? When was the last one? The first one?
The first one was in 2017, and I launched it in March of 2017, and it ran until the end of August.
All right, so we're going to do something a little bit different. I'd like you to expand on that because that's very interesting, like the Wise 50 over 50. What is it? So people understand. It was just the first awards ceremony. It wasn't last year after all.
Yeah, it was last year. And so why did I do it? Because in Canada, and more so in Canada than a lot of other countries, older entrepreneurs, which is the fastest growing segment of entrepreneurship in the world, is not being recognized. Nobody thinks that anyone over the age of 50 is doing anything of any value. We work for the government, we retire, we start a consulting firm, and then we go back and work for the government again. It's not the case, and so I decided I needed to do something about it and prove them wrong.
There you go. So that's Wise 50 over 50. So 50 awards?
50 awards for 50 entrepreneurs.
That are over 50 years old.
They were all over 50 when they started their business. Yep.
Right.
And I had applicants from every province and territory with the exception of Yukon and Nunavut. So I had applications from all of them. I also had winners from all places across Canada with the exception of the 2 that I didn't get any applicants from. Plus there wasn't anyone from Manitoba that won.
Okay, well,
yeah.
That'll happen.
Oh, it will. It'll happen in 2018.
All right. So, well, thank you for the description. Now that we know this is your professional aspect, of course. But now we're going to get into who is Wendy Mayhew a little bit more, because every entrepreneur is first a person.
Yes.
Because we're not the hats that we wear during the day, during the work day. We are something deeper. And so what I'd like to know, Wendy, is what is your purpose in this life?
My purpose in this life is to do something that I enjoy. I won't do anything unless I enjoy it. Bring laughter to almost anything. I have a sense of humor that I really, really like to use, and I do take it into business. And I just want to do something that needs to be done to make change.
So what do you mean by that? Like needs to be done and to make change? Can you elaborate?
Well, let's just go back to the awards. Okay, as an example, I wanted to do something that was going to be meaningful to help others, whether they're professional, non-professional, but understand that life does not end at the age of 50, that we certainly do have a lot left in us to do. And so it was just trying to, make a change, make a difference, and enjoy doing it. I mean, unfortunately, I can't retire. I can retire, but I don't want to retire because I'm not finished living that, I'm not going to sit and read or go golfing or things like that. I want to be able to continue doing something to help others.
Why do you think this is so important to you, to help others whether it's through Wise or another mechanism?
I don't know. I've always been like that. I've always been a giving person. And I remember my dad saying to me sometimes, he was a very giving person as well, but he told me I had to slow down on my giving. I was giving all of the time. But I see people that need some assistance in one way, shape, or form, and I'm there to offer them assistance. Not that I necessarily know anything that what they're doing, but to help them along in their journey or whatever. Or if I happen to know someone that I think that might be able to help them, I will refer them. So it's just always just trying to help others.
Yeah.
And it's okay. First off.
That's fine. You're so excited.
I get so excited. That's a blooper.
Yeah, that's okay. Oh, we'll keep it in.
Maybe. It's your video. So it's I've been like that forever, and I don't know. It's just me. It's just my personality. I'm very outgoing, and I don't know what else to say other than it's just I don't know where it came from. I mean, obviously, it came from my my parents or their parents, So, but I just keep on doing it. I don't know. I love life. I love life.
Well, that was part of the question, or at least the third question I typically ask my guests is that where does it come from? I mean, it has to come from somewhere. People are we know from studies that who people are and how they behave is environmental. About I think it's 80 or 90% of it is environmental, and a small percentage is genetics and things like that. So it must have come from somewhere. Maybe you don't remember, but can you tell me about where this sense of purpose through giving, where it comes from? Can you give us some insights as far as your past?
Well, I think that, growing up, watching my father was a big influence on me. And he was always giving. He was giving. Now he may have, been giving financially to, organizations like hospitals and things like that. So there was always that sense of giving. He also gave a lot to the community. And again, it was financial. He was a very busy man, so he did it financially and whatnot. And so that's obviously where I've picked it up from, that I want to, and, I may not always be giving financially, but I'm giving of my time. Not as much time as I would like to give because I'm always so busy with work. But, I'm there to help people. And I'm kind of, I have to change how I do things because I'm always giving my time through consulting. Okay. And I don't charge for that. But I need to start doing that to a certain extent. But, when somebody asks me a question, I can't just say, well, you have to pay me to do that. It's just, so it's always the giving of information, giving of my time to help people and things like that. And so it did obviously come from, I think, my father. Okay.
Well, it comes from somewhere.
It does come from somewhere.
So do you think, just to elaborate a little bit on this, through your work with WISE,
yes,
the awards, for example, and also just your consulting in general with people that are over 50, entrepreneurial, that throw themselves in some cases for the first time in business. Do you think your work with them actually does a chain of giving in some way? Because you give to them, but then does that mentality go further down the chain, do you think?
I think so, because what I do is I speak on the topic of discovering entrepreneurship as an older person, okay? And so, the thing is with people that they don't know what they don't know. And if they've never been a business owner, then they really don't know. Everybody at some point in their life has had an idea or have wanted to start a business, right? But after working for somebody else for all of these years, they're not sure how to do it. So when I do my presentations, I cannot believe how well received they are, because I go through, what you have to offer, the challenges, and if you do decide to move forward, then I encourage you to do it. I'm not telling you to do it, but you never know whether you could have changed the world or not. And so, the steps of starting a business, and I cannot believe the emails I get from people thanking me for helping them understand that, this is what I need to know, and this is what I need to do, and for encouraging them to move forward.
Yeah. And
You
do
know,
you
so
think you would still do what you do without the feedback, like the positive feedback?
yes,
Yeah, that's
yes,
interesting.
because no, it's yes, I would definitely do it because there is such a need, and you know, I've taken on this why seniors in business and the awards as we mentioned earlier, because we need to be recognized. We need the same help and same support as young entrepreneurs. And I said in an article I did for the Globe and Mail, the word entrepreneur needs to encompass everyone, no, regardless of your age, regardless of what you're doing, where you are, everything. And
Mm.
it's not that case. That's not the case here in Canada.
At least not yet.
Not yet, and I'm hoping to change that. I mean, some things are changing. They are slowly starting to change, and you know, I'm being recognized now and being asked to go and advise in organizations on it. So it is starting to happen, but I can't do it alone, right? I need the support of other organizations and government, all levels of government. You know, so you know, we Nova Scotia is very, very supportive of older entrepreneurship and aging in general, and the rest of Canada needs to get on board with that.
Well, I certainly hope that everybody is going to get on board because, as you may know, we're getting older and older, and healthy. Well,
I know.
time. So let's not stop living at 55 or 60 when we retire from our boring, like, traditional jobs. We have to to remain busy and active. And what better way than to be busy and active than to help others achieve using our wisdom, which I know is why you like the word wise 50.
Yes.
You know, because they are wise, experienced in life, right?
Yes. And you know, I just going to tell you about one person that was one of the award winners. She's now 82. At 68 years old, she started a cloud-based business. Wow. That was 13 or so years ago. Who was even talking about the cloud then?
Nobody was talking about cloud 13
exactly.
years ago.
So at 68, she did it, and 82, she's still running the corporation. Like it's, you know, so we're not going anywhere. We're living longer, and, you know, we're healthier, as you say. And one of the things that drives me nuts is when they talk about ageism and whatnot, that we are going to be or starting to be a drain on the healthcare system. That isn't necessarily the case, right? I mean, we're still using our brains, we're keeping active, we're healthier. So come on, start thinking about things differently whenever it comes to over 50 and 50.
Well, we do have to change our paradigm about age and health.
Definitely.
You know, a person that when I was young, which was, let's say, very young, when I was 40 years ago, I was 3, but but back then, somebody that was 60 was dying soon. That was old and, you know, sick and, you know, problems, all that stuff. But now I have lots of friends that are 60, and they're full of piss and vinegar. I mean, they're running around because they're way healthier at 60 than 40 years ago, anybody that was 60.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So we have to change how we how we see people of a certain age. And we're still valuable. And of course, there's a bunch of, you know, economic issues associated with this, the society's pace at changing things.
Yeah, and you know,
that's a different topic.
But yes, it definitely is. But you know, I'm 67, and as you say, like there's a lot of piss and vinegar still left in me. But you know, I mean, I'm not going anywhere. But you know, when it comes to the ageism, and you know, I've been in Ottawa for years, and you know, I'm pretty well known in the entrepreneurial world because I used to work with young entrepreneurs as well. And, you know, they still come and talk to me and, you know, well, just, hi, Wendy, how are you? Give me a hug, kiss, you know, what are you doing? Da, 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 da. And then there's this other end, and it's only ever happened once, and I hope it's never, ever going to happen again. But I was at a business function, and this person I knew, I was talking to him, and he was introducing me to a couple of other people. And I had changed over to, whenever I made the switch over to WISE, and I said, well, I'm starting to work with people over the age of 50. And this person that I knew, I couldn't believe his reaction. He started slobbering and bent over with a cane, as if he was working with a cane. I was so thoroughly disgusted. I couldn't believe that would happen in this day and age. And it was the first time I've ever seen it, and I hope it's the last time I ever see it, because it's awful. It's terrible.
That's not the right image.
No, it's not the right image at all. And it was, anyways.
In particular, people over 50, I mean, it's they're still pretty active in pretty much every aspect of life and work and entertainment. And like I was sorry, we're getting a little bit off.
That's all right. That's all right.
Let's finish this interview with this. But I was watching some show a couple of days ago, and I saw Liam Neeson, the actor.
Yeah.
And he mentioned he's 67. And he told a little story about him and Anthony Hopkins, who's, I presume, older.
Yes.
Two very famous actors.
Yes.
And they were talking with each other about these new roles they were cast into. And they said to each other, like, they didn't find us out yet. And the reason why they say that, they joke because they're getting way older in age and in numbers.
Yes.
In number age, but they're still at the top of their game.
I know.
As actors.
Yeah.
And that's kind of demonstrating that phenomena, which I do talk a lot in my book about health and the future of healthcare and aging. Like, we're not even near where we're gonna get with the paradigms of aging when we start in a couple of years seeing anti-aging treatments, actual treatments that will elongate the amount of time that we age and healthy. I mean, in 50 years from now, somebody that's 100 years old is going to become considered middle-aged.
I know.
So we just have to think about things in a very different way right now, because things are changing very, very quickly. And I do have to finish this off here. Thanks a lot, Wendy, for giving me your time. I think this is an awesome and a slightly unique message about not only about who you are, but the message of WISE, which I think is very important and would tie in very well with a previous interview I had with Aubrey de Grey. In this series. I think it's episode 3. For those of you who are watching, I'll link it up at the end of the video.
Okay, great.
And because he's the person one of the top people that actually does research on anti-aging treatments in America. So,
all right.
We're both on different angles. You're both working on keeping people healthy, and engaged.
Yes, definitely engaged.
To stop.
I don't know when that's going to be, but we'll see. I'll know whenever it's time to stop. That's for sure. So thank you ever so much for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Have a good evening.
You too. Thanks.
Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed the interview. If you did, please subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share. Please join me also on Clubify, a social app allowing us to share ideas and where you can participate in some of my projects. The link is in the section below. Also, if you wish to recommend someone great I should interview, please let me know. And as always, follow your passion. See you next week.